Hello everybody, Alexandra from Divine Reconnections. Moving into the next series of videos and with about the chakras. We have talked about the last series of videos was about the sacral chakra, which is your feeling center. It's where all your emotions sit and how we feel emotionally or if we're disconnected. The one before that, we talked about the root chakra, which is our grounding chakra. It makes us feel strong, stabilized, and grounded. And then today we're going to talk about the solar plexus, which honestly is one of those powerful areas for the body. It is one of the most powerful areas for the chakras because it is the I do center of the chakras, energetic chakras. It's the color yellow. Represents strength, confidence, trust, where your self-worth sits. So if your self-worth is really strong and you're feeling confident about yourself, you're feeling like you are that badass, that's where your solar plexus are really strong. And when you're not, when you do have self-doubt, when you have lack of confidence, when you don't feel that you're good enough, I am not enough, that is all solar plexus. That's where all of that energetically sits. So it's really important to really feel that area. It's our core being. So when I talk about light coming in, it always comes into that core being, which is our solar plexus, and then fuels the rest of the solar plexus. So when our self-doubt or self-confidence is not there, is not balanced, then it can affect everything else. It can affect how we feel, because then if we're not feeling confident, then we begin to feel not worthy. And when we're not feeling that unworthy feeling, we start to feel depressed. We start to have anxiety that pops in the sacral chakra. You start to become feeling very ungrounded and unsure of yourself. That affects the root chakra. So the solar plexus can be such a huge pivotal area of energy that it's important that one area, we always want to work on that one area. We always want to work on our power to make sure that it's strong and it is centered and our self-worth is powerful enough to get us through anything that we're getting through. Because when we're not in our power, we don't have the clarity we want. We're unable to speak our power. So we take on a lot more. We don't have boundaries. So we allow people to cross those boundaries. We're not powerful to put our boundaries down. We're not powerful to put our voice up and our voice to be heard and to demand respect. So that's why the solar plexus can be such a powerful area of the body that we always want to make sure that core being center is one of the places that we do the most work. And again, so the color is orange. Some of the crystals that you can use to really enhance the solar plexus to get that energy moving is, so orange calcite or yellow calcite, excuse me, is one of my favorite crystals. It's this right here, as you can see. It's beautiful raw. I love to use raw crystals. So the more raw crystals I can use, I feel the more I can really feel that crystal moving. And I'll put it against my stomach. So as you can see here, I'm putting it against the middle of my stomach. And I'm just imagining that light coming into that area and refueling, clearing out whatever I'm holding on to. A lot of times when I'm doing an energy healing and I hear detox, the body detox, that's the one area typically you want to detox. You want to detox the solar plexus. You want to detox your stomach, detox whatever jumbled stuff or any jumbled energies that are in there, so that way your body can begin to move and gurgle in that area, and energy begins to flow in that area again, because you want to keep that energy flowing as much as possible, so that way you are feeling in your power, you are feeling strong. Another crystal I love is called Golden Healer. This is just a raw piece, but a golden healer is also very strong. This one is a polished type of calcite, and golden healer is incredibly strong for really bringing psychic insight, really bringing psychic energy into the solar plexus, giving you that power, giving you that strength that you need. So it's a fabulous crystal. I like to actually also work with very large chunky crystals, especially putting very large chunky crystals on the body is actually amazingly intensely powerful, because those crystals, as big as they are, really can generate movement in the solar plexus, really bring in light. So this is one of my favorite crystals. It's called the rainbow quartz. And you can see it's very much like a quartz where it has pieces of like almost like a foggy cluster inside. I like to call them foggy clusters. This is something else that I put on my clients when I'm doing energy work on them. I put this on their body. Or sometimes I have this hold in their hands. So that way, as I'm doing energy work on them, holding crystals in your left and right hands really be able to help also move the energy in a particular area, especially in an area that is shut down. Something else that you also can use, and this is just a yellow, this is also a yellow calcite, or yellow citrine, excuse me. This is called a yellow citrine. And this is also another, has a lot of clusters in there, as you can see. This is something else that you can put on the solar plexus to really bring in light. So that's another beautiful yellow crystal point. I love to use points, and whenever I use points, I like to point them up if I'm trying to receive energy and I'm trying to receive light, down if I am trying to flush energy out of my body. So just a little tidbit about how I use my points and energetically how I use to be able to get energy up into the body, or if I'm flushing out of the body. So those are crystals you can use to help start to break up that energy and start to move whatever stuckness, whatever self-doubt, whatever self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, not feeling safe to be confident, right? Those are a lot of the traumas that we hold on to. For me, having abuse in my childhood, my solar plexus, the one thing that I'm always working will be my lifelong story, will be my lifelong shadow. We'll talk about shadow work in my next series of videos, so that way you can understand what is shadow work. But my shadow work really is not being enough, not feeling like I am enough. So that is my self-worth. So that'll be my lifelong story that I work on for the rest of my life. So energetically, when I am shut down, usually it's my solar plexus that is shut down. So I work on that power. I work on feeling safe to be in my power, feeling confident to be in my power, trusting myself to be in my power. So I'm always working on that to wake that up. A lot of times people, when you're working on your solar plexus, that's the one area that is the loudest. So you hear a lot of gurgling. If you ever hear a lot of gurgling in your stomach, that means the energy is moving. So that's really good. So especially digestively, you want things to be always digesting and moving in that area, because that keeps your solar plexus, your self-confidence, your self-esteem very strong and in control. So another little tidbit. Some of the things that you can actually do to get your solar plexus balanced, to get your solar plexus alive and moving are, so I'm going to give you a couple tips. So one tip is affirmations. Affirmations are so powerful for the solar plexus, because we really feel like when you close your eyes and you say these affirmations and you imagine bringing your awareness to the solar plexus in the middle of that stomach, then you begin to really feel the energy starts to move. Some great affirmations are, I trust myself. When you close your eyes and say, I trust myself. And I like to put my hands on my solar plexus. So as you can tell, I put my hands right there, and I like to put my hands on the solar plexus and when I say my affirmations. So that way I can feel my awareness. It's easy for me to bring my awareness down to where my hands are. By placing hands on the body and then bringing your awareness to where your hands are, it's a lot easier for you to really connect to the area. So that's just another little tip that you can do to be able to help connect to each particular chakra, whether it's on your heart, on your solar plexus. You can put your hands by your belly button for your sacral. You can put your hands on your pelvis for your root, and that just helps you be able to let your mind drop to that particular area, so you can actually do healing on that area. So again, solar plexus, imagine the solar plexus. I bring light into the solar plexus and I say, I trust myself. I am powerful, that's a very powerful affirmation to say, is I am powerful. I am working on my power. I am working towards being powerful. Those are also positive affirmations to say, because your body resonates with I am working towards something, right? Sometimes it's hard for someone to say I am powerful when they haven't been powerful for years. So it's great to change the affirmation, right? Change the energy around the affirmation to say I am working on towards being powerful in my daily life. I am working towards being powerful and living a powerful life every single day. So easy affirmations. I trust myself. I am confident. I am worthy. I believe in my self-worth. I am a beautiful, strong self-worth. I am worthy of living the life that I want. I am worthy of living a life that makes me happy. I am worthy. I am confident. I trust myself. All those are all affirmations you can say. And when you can say them and you have your hands there, your actual awareness, you will feel that energy in your body start to move. You'll actually feel heat starting to come in that particular area when you say those affirmations. Affirmations are so incredibly powerful in restructuring the mind to start bringing in what you're saying, right? That's why saying things are so incredibly powerful. Saying affirmations are so incredibly powerful because it is a mind with a brain. It's a trick with the brain that you do that basically says, no, this is who I am this. And the more you say I am this, the more the brain says, okay, it must be true because she's saying it all the time. So I'm going to start sending signals to her, into that area that says, okay, this is her. She is confident. She is powerful. And so the body starts adjusting to that energy and gets you out of the place. If you're feeling a little self-doubt, if you're feeling a little less confident, is closing your eyes, doing that breath work. I love breath work to move energy out, doing that breath work to flush everything out of your feet, then putting your hands on there and then saying, I trust myself. I am so incredibly powerful. I am working on being powerful in my current place every single day, right? Those are powerful words to get things moving, to get the energy moving. That's why I love affirmations, and I love saying affirmations. And it's also really important too to express if you're feeling a little self-doubt. It's important to even say that I am feeling self-doubt. I am feeling self-doubt about this particular situation. I'm a little nervous about this situation. And whatever it is, right? Saying it out loud will start to also take whatever energy you're holding in your solar plexus in that particular area and start to flush it out and start to break that energy up. That way, as the energy you have the ability to start moving, digestively moving whatever's there down the body and out your feet and out of your energy realm. And so by vocalizing too, sometimes when you're not feeling that, when you are feeling a little scared or you're feeling a little fear there in your solar plexus, maybe it's something you know you have to do, but it's terrifying. You're so terrified to do it because you're thinking all these things. What could go wrong? Like even just vocalizing those things. Okay, I feel like this because I have to do this, and I could fail it. It could fail. It could come back to bite me. It could do this. It could do that. I let it go. I let it go because it doesn't serve me to keep it. I am powerful. I am confident. I can do this. I am powerful enough to do this. I have the self-worth enough to do this, whatever that situation in that moment is, right? By saying those things, you're vocalizing, you're waking up the energy, you're waking up the solar plexus. So hopefully that's a great tip to follow. Tip number 2 is meditation is so powerful in the aspect that, especially if you hold crystals, if I meditate, and especially if I'm working with solar plexus, I'll grab these citrines, I'll hold them in my hand, and I'll hold them in my hand and I'll meditate. And then I imagine as I'm holding them in my hand, I imagine light coming in my left, because I always say receive with your left, flow out, or let go with your right, receive with your left, let go with your right. So I imagine like beautiful light coming in this palm and coming down my arm, coming across my chest, going out this light. So imagine like all of that stuff in my solar plexus that I'm holding on to that's not good for me. I'm just flushing it out with breath. Another piece of the meditation you can do is by holding this. Sometimes you can even hold it to like the crystals against your stomach, as if you were seeing my stomach, if putting the crystals against the body, but putting them on your stomach and just holding there, and then imagining beautiful golden light, yellow light coming into the solar plexus and moving out whatever is there, whatever yuckiness, stuckness, low energy that's bringing you down. Imagine those crystals and that beautiful golden light coming into that space and moving it out. And I taught you in the previous series videos, if you go counterclockwise, the chakra disc that is in there, going counterclockwise will clear, clockwise to heal. So I start with imagining that disc going counterclockwise, pulling out all of that yuckiness, all of that dark stuff, all of that heavy stuff. I just imagine that beautiful light pulling all of the solar plexus stuff out. And I do that counterclockwise for a couple minutes. And then I take a deep breath, and then I imagine that disc going clockwise around and bringing beautiful golden light, yellow light back into the solar plexus to recharge that area. And as as that beautiful light's coming back in and recharging, and I'm imagining light coming in there and that beautiful solar plexus and bringing light in to recharge my solar plexus. That's where I also say in my meditations, I will say, whether you can say it loudly, quietly, in your head, it doesn't matter. But that affirmation, doing it in a meditation, is also incredibly powerful, because then you're bringing in a lot of different types of energetic components into one session. So even in that meditation, as you're in that meditation, you are saying, I am powerful, I am confident, I am working on up leveling my power, I'm working on becoming more confident every single day in all of my journey. I trust myself. I'm working on trusting myself, right? All those things to help, again, get that light into the solar plexus, get that solar plexus believing that affirmation, that positive energy, and bringing light into that section to recharge that area. Palo Santo is something that I like to spray in that area to just recharge it and clean out anything that I'm holding onto my solar plexus. So that way as I feel it again. So I'll spray the solar plexus. I'll always spray the Palo Santo around my auric field. I'll breathe, and then I spray the Palo Santo down my body, and I'll breathe that Palo Santo in my body. So I'll breathe it in, but when I breathe it in, I manage it coming into my solar plexus, and I'm managing all of that stuff in my solar plexus just moving out. So that's just a little tip with with breathing in that Palo Santo after you actually do a meditation. One thing I like to do with meditations is I do like to spray Palo Santo, and I have my Palo Santo spray on my website. It's Earth Elements Palo Santo. You can see it on my shop at divinereconnections.com. Spraying the Palo Santo around the auric field, down the body, right before my meditation to help me help set that meditation for me and open the space, right? It's always important to open the space with meditation. So that way your body becomes open, and that way you have the ability to release whatever you're holding on to. And then when you're done with meditation, I like to spray the Palo Santo again to close my space up, to close that area out, especially after I brought light in to heal a particular area. So just a tidbit about meditations. But tip number 2 is meditations are great for bringing light into that solar plexus and recharging that solar plexus. And then another tip will be sound healing. I love sound healing. Sound healing is so incredibly powerful. And doing any sort of sound healing, whether you have a bowl that you're using or you are using tinctures, you can use, I always have a set of tinctures near me. And so even having tinctures where the sound healing that I'm doing in that particular area, and I'm just doing the sound healing in that by the chakra that I'm working, which is the solar plexus. And so even using that tincture in the area of the chakras and just listening and doing breath work and bringing light into that particular area. So I'm bringing beautiful light into that area and then doing the tinctures to flush out. So you can use the tinctures and the sound therapy to do breath work where you're flushing out whatever particular stuff you're holding in that digestive area, in that solar plexus, and flushing it out down, pushing it out your root chakra, pushing it out down your legs and out your feet. Those are great ways to flush the energies out. So sound healing is incredibly powerful. Even with sound healing, chanting falls with that sound healing. So even chanting, they have a particular word for sound for the solar plexus, which is called Ram. It's the energetic component in the energy world for Ram. The words, like the yellow represents chakras, Ram represents the sound chanting portion of the solar plexus. So you can actually sit in a meditation, use sound, and just say Ram over and over. Ram, Ram, Ram. Because the humming and the chanting brings the vibration into the stomach. It brings that vibration, energetic vibration in the stomach. So that ways that energy in there that is stuck starts to bubble. It starts to break up. And so then hopefully you start to hear that rumblings. It's almost sometimes sounds like if you're hungry, you hear those gurglings. That's the type of sound I want to hear when I'm trying to move energy in the stomach, is those gurglings. So you can use the word Ram, R-A-M, Ram, to move energy in the solar plexus as well with sound healing and with chanting. So that's another tip number 4. get an energy healing. The solar plexus is probably one of the easiest things to move with an energy healer or with a Reiki practitioner, is to get a healing where you're working on your solar plexus and doing the inner work, right? A lot of times our shadow work goes really in alignment with inner child healing work, and really identifying why the solar plexus are shut down. Why are they out of balance? Where aspect in our childhood did we not feel powerful? Did we not feel confident? Did we not feel worthy? Where was in our childhood were we meant to feel that we are not enough? They were not good enough. So doing some sort of energy healing around the identification of what in the solar plexus, what about the power, what about the worth, what about the confidence and the self-esteem and the power? What's part of that story was affected as a child that is coming into your adult life, that is affecting you not being in your power, not feeling confident? Not so energy healing is a great, fast, quick way to get the answers you need and to have someone else help break up and move those energies in the solar plexus. And the last tip, number 5, is yoga. Yoga is fabulous. Movement is really fabulous for moving energies in the solar plexus. So yoga is a fabulous way to do it, because some poses that you can do are the warrior pose, the boat pose, and planks are also very good for getting energy in there and actually shaking it up, because especially in a plank, when you are having to stand in a plank, that particular area starts to shake. And the more you can shake that area, the more that body can shake. And the more movement you can get in your solar plexus, in those muscles, the more that energy starts to move as well. So even if you're taking your stomach and shaking it, and shaking that particular stomach with your hands, sometimes also gets that energy coming in there, right? You start to feel heat in that area, which means that energy is starting to come in, it's starting to move. But doing simple exercises like the boat pose, the plank, and the warrior will really help strengthen and, again, start breaking up whatever stuck energies you're holding on into your solar plexus. So those are a couple tips you can do to really wake up the power, to wake up the solar plexus, to get energy in there, to move out energy. And so it is one of the most important. It is the core center of our being. It is the core center. We want that. If anything, of all the chakras, we definitely want our power to be strong and balanced and to be awake. I get a lot of times where power is depleted, or wake up the sleepy lion. I hear that a lot when I'm in that area. It's because people's power, either they hold their power to themselves and they keep it very close to them, or their power is depleted because they're just burnt out. And so it's really important to go through that area and clean it out and recharge it, so people feel much more in alignment and much more powerful. Because the more powerful you are, the more fearless you are, the more you get out of your comfort zone, the more you speak up your truth, the more your ability to put boundaries down. It really does. It is the core nucleus of the body, honestly, because it is the one area that is what controls how courageous you are, how much you do things, because it is the I do center. It's the I do section of the body. I do this because I feel powerful. I do this because I feel confident. I do this because I'm enough. I do this show because I'm that good. That's why I say it's the core nucleus. It's that I do energy can affect all of the other chakras and all the other things you do or do not do if this is shut down. So hopefully that gives you some insight and some helpful tips about the solar plexus. The next video is going to be about the heart chakra. And we'll talk about what does the heart chakra look like? What is that? What are the energies there? So stay tuned and keep watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.